Eastern Himalayas, nurturing an ancient region, an intermingling of traditions and faiths. It's one of India's lesser-known regions, unexplored, remote and exotic for most. But times are changing. As a filmmaker, I have always wanted to explore the northeast of India. I'm here on a journey of discovery, an exploration through India's Misty Mountains. Mizoram, rarely visited and still very remote. It is the southernmost of the northeastern states and share over 700 kilometers of its boundary with Bangladesh and Myanmar. The 4-hour drive from the airport to Dampa Tiger Reserve is an adventure. Spread over 500 square kilometers, the rainforests here are one of the last safe protected spots of the tiger. So I'm still looking for one of the most pristine places in India, and coming to the extreme northeast in Mizoram, I think I can see that Dampa is one of the areas which is almost untouched. And the forest is amazing. I know the jungle is very, very thick. How much time do I have to spend, really, you think?
Yeah, this is a tropical evergreen forest. Even a lot of our forest guard, the one who are really on the field, it's very difficult for them also to get through this dense jungles. And they still say that in the borders near the Bangladesh side and all, there are a lot of different type of animals and birds and all, which has still been explored.
I've heard that Dampa has the highest number of clouded leopards in the world.
We have the most population of clouded leopards. At least in Southeast Asia and Asia, it's considered that Dampa has the most population of this.
And that makes it so special. One thing I noticed was that wherever I went, there's amazing little streams, pristine, pure water. And that's what the whole world wants today.
We are very lucky. Like, we call these streams in Mizo, it's known as Zhou Tui Thiang. So it's a pure water coming through with all the rich minerals, and also people out here love to drink it. And even we from the cities, we come here longing for that, that Zhou Tui Thiang.
Zhou Tui Thiang.
Yeah, Thiang means pure mineral water.
That brings me to the question. Like, I came here, I've got this beautiful place where we are staying. Yeah. So what are the other facilities available? How easy is it to get here? Are the people here conversant with what a tourist needs?
You were the lucky ones who came in the first of the Go Air airlines, because otherwise logistically we were having only one airlines coming into Aizawl. So it was quite difficult for tourists or nature lovers or for all those to come into Mizoram. And from the airport, the drive is around 4 hours for hardly 100 kilometers of road.
Beautiful drive.
Yeah, beautiful and tough, quite rough and tough. Beautiful.
That's what it is, adventure.
Yeah, so that's what. And the other part is, this is the forest guest house. So this is the only one we have right now, but they're coming up with some homestays, and people are opening up, and the awareness program coming up in these villages and other rest of Mizoram too, to promote this type of tourism. when the people come, they want to experience the culture, the local cuisine of Mizoram. So if we put them in place like this, so it's better to have them in the homestays and they experience one-to-one with the people.
तो आप स्कूल गई, कॉलेज पढ़ी आप? I think the food was a great experience, and I believe really that one of the great things that unites people is the food. And it makes you relax, and then you experiment, and then you discover things that you've never seen or known. With homestays coming in, the local communities will also start benefiting from the presence of the tourist.
Yeah, really, that is one of the idea, and the homestays, people like we just don't want just to people come and see this place and go back and forget about it. So with homestays, you still get connected to the family where you lived with, and you still can exchange a lot of things like the cuisine, like the food.
The culture, this tradition. That's how I come to know about the people who have been disconnected for a long time. I think this is one of the places that I've seen. I've traveled quite a bit. It is like paradise. So for me, it's a great learning experience. And since you live here, I'm hoping that I'll be able to tap your brain and take pictures. And this is one place which is not only a paradise, it is a wildlife lover's dream come true. Wow, what a humbling experience. What a rich, fully loaded jungle. See, this is what I was talking about. Everywhere you go, you see water rushing in towards the catchment area. And this is the water that keeps India alive.
Yeah, we are the lucky ones getting the first flush of it.
Wow, so this Dampa River and the jungle is the source of Dampa River.
Yeah, this is the start of the Dampa River.
And it goes to the Teirei and the Chong.
So it around 5 kilometers, then down to Teirei. It meets up with the Teirei River, then down to Bhairabi, the river, then down, it goes down, Brahmaputra, Bay of Bengal. So
it's amazing.
These forests are rich, thick and impenetrable, especially since I was here during the monsoons. And it has its own share of challenges. Palm oil plantations replacing agricultural land and forests, inching closer to the protected area every year. But tourism can certainly bring this special forest onto the map. We just have to ensure to be educated and informed travelers. The forests of Dampa are irreplaceable, not only for the wildlife, but for the people of Mizoram who depend on it. With its capital at Agartala, Tripura is a landlocked state, fed by the waters of the Haora River. Tripura was an independent kingdom for centuries and has a rich history of literature and culture. The history of the Tripuri kingdom has been chronicled in the ancient native language of Kokborok, a language that is now fast vanishing. Koloma, a folk fusion band, is using lyrics written in Kokborok in the hope that their music can revive the language and make it relevant once again for the people of Tripura.
name is Bhaskar J. Debbarma.
My name is Romeo Debbarma.
And mine is Ronald Debram.
We are Koloma. We play folk fusion band and we play to preserve our Tripuri tune.
We started initially with the instrumental band, and back in 2012, and then coming along with the band, we formed proper band in 2014. So we released our first music album named Muri Muri.
We play the folk fusion. We play our pop music and we fuse with the blues, jazz and sometimes reggae. Music is about the local area, which area we belong to and how is the characteristic of the people of the places. So our music is reflect on those. So if you listen to our music, you come to know the tune of the Tripura and our peoples.
Yakong hadlay nangja yago bamaidun tija sima sag nang logi rek tharja masing seari lobja.
In terms of lyrics, we've sang in English few numbers and Kokborok, which is our mother tongue. There is a reason. We want to develop our society to let people be aware of our mother tongue, and generally what happens here in Tripura is like the people out here generally they don't use the Kokborok mother tongue.
I feel some lagging in our music, in the music sense in our Tripura. No, the real music sense is not coming to our people. They all are copying from the other genre. So almost our languages die. That is the main reason the forming the band actually. If you use more in music, in drama, in cinema, then only language will develop. This is our main aim, to preserving the language and promoting the language.
I think our music done a little part of it, not the huge one, but through our lyrics, through our way of representing it through our music, it's relating the livelihood back in those days and then what is right now, and people are very much interested to know more about it.
Real tune, Tripuri tune is not come out, so it is there, but how they present, it is not that kind of up to the level. So we thought if you present in young generation, if you present, if you use those kind of tune, then our next generation, they obviously they will follow us, and again the own tune of Tripura is come out. That way, if you can develop our language in school level, in college level, if you write in poem, this one, then and aware about our history. Our people they don't know the real story of our land. We don't know our own people who were actually for our state. But Ramkumar Thakur is who developed the language, who tried to reach the education level to the remote areas. Okay, and Radhamohan Thakur is who preserved our Kokborok. If he was not there, no Kokborok will be distinguished completely. I believe in next 5 years, no, from Tripura, something will come out. So it will recognize in the whole India or world. I believe.
Bands with different genres, and as well as we have some folk artists, which is happening over here. Most of the programs are organized in that way, so it's quite happening. We can't say that it's not happening at all, but it's happening.
The response out here in our state, like kids are like, oh really, these guys are doing fusion rock. So they've started writing poem in our mother tongue. So that's a really, I think it satisfies me individually if I say that. So it's really great, I would say.
It's feels very good when people say, no, you people are the initiate of the folk fusions in Tripura. We're the first band, they recommend like that. We were the first band, the folk fusion band in Tripura. So we feel good with initiator.
yago kumpui bahanari wasare kolina logi kere kasukti nini sumui kasukti nini
Skateboarding emerged in America in the 1960s as a mode of travel and as a sport. It quickly became subculture that valued creativity and freedom. In the past decade, it has found its roots in India, with active skaters in more than 12 cities. A community of professional skaters is now growing in Agartala. Producing skateboarding content based in India. Creating a new avenue for self-expression for the youth of Tripura.
I was actually into, this b-boying, hip-hop culture, I got in touch with one guy, he's a friend of mine who does skateboarding. So, I wanted to try it out. Nobody was skateboarding back then. The culture wasn't growing. So, that's when we started doing videos out of it, make more content, and that's how people get into skateboarding. So that's when it started. I wanted to document these beautiful cultures. So that's when I started documenting, filming. I see a lot of skateboarders, growing up as a skateboarder from around 9, 10, and then they pursue, and then, they be professional at 13, 14, and they be, making all this career below 20. And that's a good thing, and the way they go is very neat. It's not about, it's just about skateboarding, doing it every day, getting motivated. So something like that, and it doesn't have any rule. You don't have a coach. You are on your own coach. So I think that's what it keeps me motivated. The freedom to do what you want to do. Skateboarding, it doesn't discriminate. When skateboarders meet anyone, you can be just friends with anyone. You go anywhere, you can be just friends and skate, because it's all about the background doesn't really matter. Whether you're rich or poor. It's all about that's the freedom of it. What we are doing is street skateboarding. It's skating in the streets, finding out a spot, filming it. So that's a traditional way of skateboarding. Whenever you learn a new trick, that feels like you're in the you're going to the next level, trying to do some creative out of it, So that's when I wanted to get into more skateboarding, know more about it. At the same time, the feeling when you land a trick, you try it, when you're doing a trick, you may be taking 2 hours, 3 hours if you're skating in a day, and then you learn after that. Then the feeling of that is best thing in the world. The scene is still growing, but from our skateboarding, there's a brand called Coco Skate. So I've started it last year. Then we have a rider from Shillong and filmers, skating, filming, putting out the content. So that's what we're trying to do with skateboarding. I feel like there's a lot of improvement starting from back in 2015 and now. I feel like skateboarding can take me somewhere, Just trying to make a way out of it. There are more skaters in Bangalore, even in Northeast, like there are skaters in Shillong, Tripura. But the main thing is that, like there should be a skate park where, where people can meet up, have a community and, like talk about skateboarding. For that, like for building the community, I think a skate park is also important, which is like not happening here. But we're trying to do it. I'm trying to take it globally. So I'm just working on it. Let's see how it goes.
Just a few hours drive from Guwahati, and I'm in the home of the legendary one-horned rhinoceros.
This is one of the biggest wetland of Kaziranga. It's around 600 hectares. Kaziranga means it's known for only the central range and western range. But most of the tourists, they are unaware about this Agaratuli range.
This is a paradise for birds.
Yes, yes.
आज से 25-20 साल के आगे यहाँ का माहौल थोड़ा अलग थे। यहाँ के गांव के नाम सुनते लोग मतलब डरते थे।
These people have given us 70 acres of land, paddy field land, for cultivation of paddy for the elephants.